Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets alike, welcome back to the Mobile Mayhem North America Wild Rift Tournament Season 1, the last day of the group stage. We call it the fun day. Today we got a lot of stuff going on, but before that, how you doing, Mr. Moose?
Oh, I'm doing great, Dave. Hopefully you are having a good day as well. I sure am. It is another exciting day of Wild Rift action here. The final day, like you said, of group stage action here today for Mobile Mayhem Season 1. The tournament, the group stage, coming to a close, and this is going to be a little bit of a taste of what the playoffs are going to be like moving into next week's games. We got GOONS going to be facing off, I believe, against Mayhem, and then it's going to be Yon versus Tribe. So all of these members all of these teams already being able to confirm their spot in the playoff, and now it's all about placements for Mayhem. A chance for them to get back up into the rankings and maybe get themselves into one of those rank 2 or rank 3 spots, so they don't have to face off against each other in the rank 1 position, because it's a big game for all of these players. You know, you definitely don't want to have to go up against first rank in the first round of the semifinals. You want to be able to go around that second or that third seed to be able to have a better chance of getting into the finals, because, you know, looking at what GOONS has been able to do already, 6 points, Yon at 5, Tribe and Mayhem both tied at 4. I mean, there's no telling how these games are going to play out. If Mayhem is able to get themselves a 2-0 against GOONS, they tied with GOONS at 6 apiece, and that opens the door for Yon to potentially get themselves, if they're able to get 2 wins here today, get themselves at 7 points, they'll be in the top spot, and they'll go up against Tribe in the first round of the semifinals, and that's all going to be important for whether or not they're able to get themselves into those final games. And the money is there. They've got to be able to get themselves into that finals to be able to get that big chunk of change. And so we're going to see who's going to be able to take that happen, or take that first spot, who's going to be able to win these games, as we got ourselves ready to jump into it here in just a moment. Yeah, I mean, everything that we're doing today is all about the playoffs. It's all about the placement in the playoffs, because the first is going to play against the fourth, and the second is going to play against third. So it's going to be really exciting matches. But the first game ban pick is already underway between GOONS and Mayhem in our match 1 of the day. We do got some news that the last match is not going to be played today. We got some forfeiting coming up, but the most exciting matches are right here for you. 2 best out of 3 back-to-back with some your favorite teams. So it's your time to get your popcorns ready, get your soda ready, share the stream with your grandpa, with your family, have them share with their family. Let's quickly get the first game underway. Yep, exactly. And so we're going to get ourselves into our first of our best of 3 series. Mayhem going to be facing off against GOONS. And so we saw Mayhem with, you know, a lot of potential to get those wins against Tribe yesterday. Just wasn't able to pull it off and wasn't able to get themselves the victory that they needed to be able to get themselves into that win. You saw Kodo playing some really different jungles in that first game with that Fizz, getting themselves into an 0-1 start, and then they weren't able to finish out the game against Tribe with that Seraphine combo with the Sona. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get themselves that win, having a heartbreaking loss in that game yesterday against Tribe in game number 2. So they're looking to be able to change their trajectory, get themselves a win here today, get themselves home to a 1-0 set score starting off, and we're already seeing some heavy hitters getting picked by GOONS. We've got Olaf, we've got Gragas, and we've got Zaya already on the way. Mayhem looking to maybe go for some heavy hitters as well. We got Camille in the top lane, a really solid choice, going to go up into that position. It's likely going to go up against that Gragas, so a good, potentially advantageous lane for that Camille if she's able to play it effectively. Going up against that Olaf going to be very interesting to see. Mayhem, however, hovering that J4 with that Ashe. Yeah. Interesting setup there. Yeah, I mean, just like you mentioned, correctly mentioned, for Mayhem, they really need to win today, because the match they're going against, even though they're going against the number 1 seed in the group stage so far, but if they're able to get a win, it's going to be a huge confidence boost going to the playoffs, and that will really decide like how much money you're going to get from the playoff stage, because every single place
has a huge prize money difference. We're talking about like hundreds of dollars. The first place today is gonna get for the entire Mayhem tournament is gonna get $1,000. Second place gets 500. It's double the second place prize money, and third place 250. So basically every time we drop a tier, we're dropping like half of the prize money from the previous tier. So we're talking about like really doing everything you can right here to prepare yourself for the playoffs, and everything for the playoff. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, especially the grand finals, will be streamed exclusively on Trovo.live. So if you're watching the stream right now, make sure to go to Trovo. You have not, because it's going to be where all the excitement, where all the enthusiasm, all the mobile tournaments in the future are going to be hosted. So, whew.
Exactly. And so looking at the lineup right now for Goons, it looks like we're going to see a good play, a good lineup coming in. Quirky, Zaya, Gragas, Olaf, and the Janna coming through. So Charm gonna be playing as that support Janna. It looks like we're gonna be getting a mid lane Quirky coming in from Hoon, and I'm very excited to see what Hoon is gonna be able to do. It's a very strong champion in the right hands, and Hoon is one of the best when it comes to that. And so I'm excited to see what he's gonna be able to do with a strong mid laner like Quirky. I mean, that Gatling gun can be extremely strong, being able to shed front lines really easily, but he has to be able to land that ultimate. That rocket is so important to be able to get that damage consistently throughout these team fights. We're going to see if that's going to be the case, though, as it looks like we've got Mayhem looking for more of a team fight oriented comp. We've got a really strong frontline Cataclysm ultimate coming in the jungle for Kodo. Going to be looking to use that J4 effectively to get that Cataclysm. Has the ball delivery system for Suki on that Orianna, and then a pretty stable bot lane. Looking to get a little bit more into the game, though. We've got like 7-8 minutes for that Kaisa and Rakan to really start popping off. We'll see what Sai is going to be able to do on that Rakan. Will he be able to get the charms to be able to get everyone grouped up and then be able to get that Cataclysm? Because remember, if J4 is able to land the Cataclysm on Olaf, despite Olaf being able to get that Ragnarok going, he's not going to be able to get out of it. He's not going to be able to get out of the wall unless he flashes away. So it's going to boil down to whether or not LeBlanc is going to be able to use that effectively. It's going to boil down to whether or not J4, whether or not Kodo is going to be able to use his ultimate effectively.
Wait, did you mention LeBlanc?
No, LeBlanc. I'm so bad when it comes to saying names sometimes. I see the LEB and I'm like, it's LeBlanc. It's gotta be LeBlanc. No, it's LeBmont.
I was like,
already. I'm falling apart here already, Dave. You gotta carry the stream.
I mean, I thought, okay, for a second over there, I was like, wait, somebody changed name, or is LeBlanc just get added into the tournament? Because I was really excited, but I was looking, you know, I guess my biggest take for this entire draft is I was expecting Mayhem to pick more of their comfort picks. Their mid lane Suki, we talk about it over and over again. The cannon that he plays, despite the game they lost just yesterday, the cannon, the Galio, but then they're taking out something completely different for the mid lanes. Some heroes, a champion that's really popular, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I mean, it's not something, the signature picks that we know of Suki. So it's gonna be a really interesting match. I can't wait for us to get into game one right here.
Yep, and it looks like we are about underway already. We're going to see what Suki is going to be able to do on that Orianna. But like I was talking about, it's the wombo combo potentially between Suki and Kodo to be able to get that Cataclysm into a big shockwave. That's a ton of damage and a ton of protection potentially for Soju to be able to go for that consistent damage, to be able to get that Acathian range and secure those really strong, advantageous states in those team fights. We saw yesterday how important the team fight can be for both of these teams, for any team in general. If a team fight goes in one team's favor by a substantial margin, it could mean the difference between winning and losing the game. You could be in the lead the entire time only to lose the game in the final moments just because of one bad team fight. It doesn't matter how good you go in the early game. If you can't close out a game, it could cost you this first round and get yourself into a bad spot starting off. And right now, it looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit of an even game so far. Nothing really crazy happening. Sai, however, playing as that Camille, looking to be able to make sure that he is able to bully out Hitman as much as he can in the early game. Camille's such a lane bully. Even if you look at it, making the decision to help Kodo to be able to get that scuttle grab, gonna mean that they're gonna be able to potentially easily go for it. But a bottom lane fight, so much damage coming through. The Gatling gun coming in is going to be able to get Hoon first blood, and it's a double kill for Hoon. Rakan and Kaisa both go down. Looks like Suki coming in for a little bit of an assistance, but no. Well, yes, the red team was able to get themselves that scuttle crab, and it's gonna be Kodo being able to get the blue buff and the Gromp away from the jungler on, or from Leb on the blue team. It's a double kill for a very strong carry in Hoon in the mid lane. That's going to be huge for them moving forward.
Very nice coordinated ganks. This is the strength of Team Goons. They're able to rotate like a bunch of goons, right? Just go everywhere together, especially Hoon on the mid lane. He's always able to out-rotate his opponent mid laner. And this is something I think really giving entire team Goons is huge advantage, because when you have a mid lane that's always winning lanes, always having a lane prio, it does add a lot more pressure rather than just a jungler ganking. It's usually 4 versus 2, 4 versus 1, or 3 versus 1, instead of just like you know, a 2 versus 1 or 3 versus 2 situation, because the mid lane is always rotating, and that's something we're gonna see a lot more coming from this game.
And that's what I'm liking to see coming in from Hoon as well. You've been seeing him, I've been watching him go back and forth outside the brush, inside the brush, making sure that Suki has to guess where his opponent is at in the mid lane. And not only that, Hoon is making sure that the pressure is on in the lane, which makes it really difficult for Suki to be able to rotate himself. And so like you were talking about, that map awareness thing, the ability to rotate around the map is extremely strong in games like this. And I'm excited to see if Hoon's going to be able to continue to keep that going. Now that Suki is level 6, has that shockwave ready, but it looks like he might be looking to be able to go for some more map control. I mean, shout out really to Hoon. I just watched him go from one mid-river to the other mid-river to be able to get those honey fruits, to be able to make sure that Suki has to be there with low mana. He has so much mana, he has so much control of the river, so much control of the mid lane, that Suki is going to have to play exceptionally well moving forward, but it looks like we might be getting an engaged top lane. Kodo is there.
You know, it's all about 120 gold, baby.
There you go. And that's good play coming in from, you know, the blue team. With the Ocean Drake now spawning, Hoon in position already along with Lev and Gume to be able to get this Ocean Drake down immediately. What awareness, what map control coming in from Goons to be able to get themselves off to an early start. 18, or what is that, 2,700 gold in the lead at this point? Nicely done.
Yeah, close to 3,000 already. I mean, right off the bat, we see Goons just, you know, putting the pedal to the metal, taking control, taking the lead over this game. And if this scales into the late game, we're facing a really scary late game scaling Corki, plus a Gragas, plus bottom lane, we're talking about a Xayah, one of the most scariest late game scaling top side.
Oh, we got a gank at the top lane. Nice, great use of the explosive cast. What a play again. We've seen how strong the explosive cast can be to be able to displace a member of the opposite team. And they're gonna go for the dive. What a play by Hitman and Lev. A great use of that explosive cast. Hitman going to be able to get that kill onto not only Kodo, but also Sai as well. They're going to be able to secure that kill and get themselves a huge play in the top lane. Now up by 5,000 gold. Look at that explosive cast there. So beautiful.
I mean, wonderful play, and able to get a first tower on top of it. At this point, the snowball is already accumulating. I mean, we're looking at, this is the early, close to 5,000 gold advantage right now, and this is 5 minutes into the game. So if you average it out, that's 1,000 gold lead per minute. I mean, if you keep up with this rate, at 10 minutes, we're gonna see a 10,000 gold advantage, and then it's only gonna get exponentially higher. So if you look at item-wise from Corki, Corki is already building towards the second item, towards the Trinity Force. He has the bomb ready, and the Rift Herald is coming up. This looking like just a heavier and heavier snowball going forward.
The Rift Herald
Exactly, like you said, you got the Manamune already online for Hoon in the mid lane. We got Blade of the Rune King with those 2 assists, going to be able to get in the lead as Hitman goes in just for another explosive cast. Want to be able to get away from the gank from Kodo, and while Kodo was in the bottom lane, we saw a good play coming in from left, going to be able to get the Rift Herald and spawns it immediately in the mid lane. Looking to be able to get another tower to go down, and with the headbutt, kaboom! There we go. First tower, second tower actually, gonna go down against Mayhem. Goons in a big, strong position right now. Rotating immediately over to the bottom lane. There is no explosive cast ready to go, but we do have the Ragnarok there. Ragnarok's gonna be able to get Kodo and Lev in the same spot, but wow, what amazing Monsoon coming in from Charm. I can't believe the Olaf survives. Not gonna be able to survive for long though. It is going to be Sai being able to pick up the jungler, but unfortunately there for the red team, Mayhem now 6 kills behind, 6,000 gold in the deficit. Want to be able to get another kill on a Hitman, looking to be able to go for it. The hook trap is going to land for the stun. What an amazing tornado coming in from Charm. MVP of that team fight has to go to Charm, playing as that Janna. The Monsoon was huge to be able to get that healing for that dive under tower, only losing 1 member and picking up so much out of that fight.
Oh, seems like we're gonna have a little bit more pursuit on the bottom side. Hitman might be in trouble here.
No, he's going to be able to get away. The flash is there, and the redemption coming in from Charm. Again, the healing so strong coming in from this support player. Going to be able to keep his team alive. And now the blue team able to escape that one, only losing 1 member. They're going to be available to be ready for that dragon that spawns in 20 seconds. Like you said, Dave, the snowball just continuing. Now, what does Mayhem have to do? You've got no one really in a good position right now gold-wise. I mean, your richest man on the Rift is that Orianna 0-0-1. It is going to be an engage coming in from Khan, but he's not going to be able to get much out of that, though. Just going to die, and that will guarantee the second dragon of the game for Goons now.
I mean, to be completely honest, at this point, I do not know what Mayhem can do in order to come back. They probably have to think about strategies going forward to the next game. Maybe play more decisive, more rotation-wise. You can see easily from how they execute this game, there's just a huge contrast on the communication and clarity of rotations. For Team Goons, they know exactly where to go in. Their entire team is 1 goal. You saw the last replay for the team fight. Oh, speaking of the team have 1 goal top side.
Uh-oh, Sai gonna be in trouble. Gonna be able to use that hook shot, get away. Nice Charm coming in from Khan. It's gonna be the Cataclysm. Gonna land onto Charm, but the Monsoon gonna get Kodo onto the other side of that Cataclysm wall. Not gonna be able to get the kill, and now everyone extremely low on Mayhem. It's gonna be a killing spree for Hitman as he gets the kill onto not only the Camille, but also onto Sai and a Kodo as well. Suki now in a bad spot as well, the only member of Mayhem that is not tied. It's a double kill for the blue team. Yes, it's going to be Gume and Lev going down, but it is a blue team ace. Another amazing team fight coming in from Goons.
Like, I just want to point out how united Team Goons are in this entire tournament. They're probably even more focused as a team on one objective than on Team Tribes at this point. Like, everywhere you go, everywhere you see, it's a 3 to 4 man rotation. Anything they do is always multiple members. The amount of synergy that this team has is through the roof. I mean, it's just if Team Mayhem want to have a chance competing in this tournament, going to the playoff, they really have to just straighten out those communications. Everywhere they go, they need to have a clear game plan. This is what we're gonna do, and execute on those game plans. And that's what Goons just outperforming their opponents in every area right now.
Outperforming indeed. They're going to be able to get themselves into a almost 11,000 gold lead. Second items now online as well for several members, key members of the Goons squad. Zonia Hourglass going to be the boot alteration for both the Xayah and the Corki. As we get the Blade of the Rune King and the Infinity Edge ready to go for Xayah, we've got the Muramana already online, as well as the Triforce for the Corki, Rod of Aegis, Sunfire, Aegis for the Gragas. And right now, I mean, the gold lead is just there. The wallet is about to be smacked down for this on this blue team, as it looks like Sai is going to be looking to go in for a kill against Hoon, but unfortunately the damage is so good. What a great use out of that. Zonia is going to be able to stop that Hextech ultimatum. The Cataclysm is going to land on a Hitman, but he's going to be able to get the knockup and an explosive cast. What a huge explosive cast. Going to be able to keep the team fight going. Kodo is now extremely low. Soldier going to be caught out, going to be displaced, and will go down. They want more, however. It's going to be LeBlanc going to be on to a little bit of an airborne play, but it's not going to matter. Hitman will go unstoppable. Going to be able to get a double kill for Lev as well, and a double kill for Hitman as well, dominating. Sai is the only member of Mayhem to survive, and they go immediately over to Baron.
Let's take a look at a replay. We didn't catch the moment, but what a beautiful play from Hoon over there, using the stasis to dodge the ultimate, the Hextech ultimatum from Sorrento. That has to be so desperate, so frustrating when you're playing a Camille and your only tool of engage get completely dodged and outplayed in such a fashion. So I mean, what a play from entire team GOONS, the kiting back and forth. Even Hitman was able to hang on to one sliver of health, still contributes so much, activating Ignite to get the kill on Kodo in the back. And now Sorrento looking to get himself away, but look at Hitman's position though.
Yep, now going to be looking to potentially get another kill onto Sai. Wants to be able to confirm that the Hextech ultimatum is there, but Sai looking to be able to get out using that hookshot, will be able to get away along with Khan, looking to be able to get out of that one, and does get out of that one that time, but unfortunately, they're now going to be in a bad position with the third dragon now spawning. It's the Infernal Drake now ready to go. They want to be able to go for it, and they do immediately go for it. They got the Baron buff, it's shredding down, and it's melting down like butter. We've got the Shockwave getting used by Suki, but it's not going to do enough. It's going to be the Cataclysm coming in on Hitman. Soju! To keep that fight going, but it doesn't matter. We've got so much damage from Lev and Hoon to be able to get the kills onto Soju, onto Suki, onto Sai, and onto Kodo. Khan is the only member barely alive, and it is now going to be a huge successful team fight for GOONS yet again. They're going to push forward into the Nexus and take game one.
Oh my god, disaster continue to spell for the side of Mayhem. They just can't compete with this continuous barrage from the entire team GOONS, just over and over again. They're fighting firemen. Victory. Like I said, it's just united, one unit focusing on one target at one time. You got J4 going in, instantly deleted, just evaporated like he never existed. What a great play. What a textbook demonstration of how to destroy opponents from Team GOONS right here.
Exactly. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, from start to finish, GOONS was in control of the game from that amazing dive, level 4, to be able to get the double kill onto the bottom lane. Soju and Khan going down. Gonna get a double kill for Hoon. 5-0-8 on Hoon right now, 13,000 gold, really having no issues whatsoever being able to carry that game and securing themselves a victory for GOONS in game number 1. They're going to be getting themselves into a big lead and a huge momentum burst moving into game number 2. Mayhem, unfortunately, I mean, they were trying to go for a little bit more of an aggressive, or not an aggressive, but more of a passive build in the early game, trying to be able to make sure that Suki, Soju, Sai can get themselves fed in the early game so that when they move into the mid game, when Baron spawns, they could really, use that wombo combo effectively to get that damage, burst down Hoon, burst down Gume, but unfortunately, they never got the chance. And again, big shout out, really huge shout out coming in from Charm on that support. A ton of healing, a ton of control of the team fights, making sure that she was able to stay alive multiple times, making sure that Gume and Hoon had full health going into fights. And I mean, there was just nothing that Mayhem was able to do effectively to be able to get themselves that into an advantage. Really nicely done. Congratulations again to GOONS. They're going to be getting themselves into a 1-0 lead moving into game number 2.
Yeah, and this is not one of those even kind of game lead. This is one of those completely destruction type of lead. So it really hurts Mayhem's confidence. But again, when you're behind, when you're on the bottom of the hill, the only way to go is going up. So next game may be the game that Mayhem like demonstrate to us how to play from behind. How do you readjust like in the esports environment, in competitive environment? This is the moment where you actually show how you can take a deep breath and reset your mindset going forward into the competition. But before we get to the game 2, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to share the stream, like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. This tournament would not happen without you, without Mr. Moose, and obviously without Mobile Mayhem and Trovo.live. Make sure to go follow all mentioned above on social medias on Twitter so you can follow all the future tournaments in the mobile space, as well as just anything in general. This place only hosts the most exciting, the coolest, the greatest, the baddest tournaments ever. So what can I say? I'm gonna take a short break. Don't go anywhere. Get your soda, get your stuff ready. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, welcome back to the Mobile Mayhem North America Wild Rift Tournament Season 1. Now we're in the ongoing match between Team Goons and Team Mayhem, with Goons 1-0 ahead at their match point. If they're able to take this win, take this victory, they're gonna have a 100% win rate. I mean, statistically speaking, going to the playoff, right? Now we have to consider that they do have two teams actually forfeited against them. But first, before going to the second game, how are you doing, Moose?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. That was a dominant game, though. Yeah. Coming in from Goons, having only 3 deaths across the entirety of that game. Maybe 4. It was like 21-4, 21-3. Regardless, however, really strong performance coming in from Goons in that game. Hoon, very strong on that Corki. You saw Charm do some amazing work on that Janna. And now they're going to be looking to be able to win game number 2 easily, getting themselves into potentially that first spot place. I mean, that first game was easy. Like, that first game was extremely easy for Goons. Like, let's be real. I mean, from start to finish, they had no problems being able to take that win. So if Mayhem wants to be able to get this into a game number 3 situation, they've got to do something crazy. They've got to change it up. They've got to be able to make sure that Goons is not able to get into that early game advantage, and they've got to go all out, lay it out all on the line to potentially win this game. Yep. They can't have a performance like they did last game if they want to be able to win this one. And we're going to find out whether or not Goons is going to be able to get this into a 2-0, or will Mayhem be able to mix it up? Will they be able to get themselves into a game 3 situation? But right now, with the way that Goons was able to play in game 1, man, I don't know what Mayhem is going to be able to do, but they got to switch something up.
I mean, when I talk to Hoon behind the scene, their team is not positioned to be NA number 1. Their team is positioned to be the world number 1. They're ready to go to the worlds. I mean, this is not just few players getting together and get their, socks off. They're trying to actually play pro, represent the region, and be the pride of there's a lot of competition here in North America. This is the team that actually took Tribe like they're playing against, actually entry-level players. So today we're going against Mayhem. They definitely have a really strong opponents on their hands. So if they're able to pull out an even game, or even like a comeback reverse comeback, this is going to be absolutely insane. That shows NA has competition. At the same time, it's going to be great scrims overall just for Mayhem. A lot of practice. You can go back and analyze those games, and all those matches are uploaded on the AssassinDave Experience YouTube channel. You can go back and analyze game by game and see exactly what you did wrong and really start improving. So overall, I think it's a win-win for both parties.
Exactly. And so, I mean, this is a good game for Goons as well. I mean, this could be a big win for them. If they're able to win this one with already 6 points under their belt, they would be able to get themselves into an 8 points in the bracket for the full 2 weeks of performances that we've seen them play. If they're able to get both of these wins, they're gonna have 8 points. There'll be no way for Yon, who is at 5, to be able to catch up. They will be able to confirm that first seed, and now all they have to do at that point is then say, hey, who do we go up against in the first round of playoffs? And most likely, if it is the case that we see Mayhem lose this one 0-2, it's going to end up being a reset, going to end up being, Goons up against Mayhem in the first round of playoffs. And so if it becomes that case, like, these are important games. It doesn't really matter in terms of standing wise. You're going to be able to make it to the playoffs regardless of how you perform today. This is a chance for you to now have an opportunity to know what Goons is capable of, how to combat against the strong performances that they've played so far, and what to do in order to get themselves wins moving forward. So far, looking at the lineup that they've got right now, looking to go for a much more of an all-in-your-face team composition with that Olaf. That could be good too. We got the Olaf, we got the Garen, we've got the Braum. Ari going to be an assassin there to go in as well.
Is that a confirmed pick? I need to confirm that.
Yeah, that's a confirmed pick, it looks like, coming in for the R8. So it looks like we're going to be seeing, with what we've been seeing coming in for Mayhem so far, we've seen Sai play some really good top laners, and now he's going to be going in for another top laner in that Garen. Looks like we're going to be seeing Suki playing as that Ari in the mid lane. Looking like we might be seeing a top lane or a mid lane Akali
Yeah.
Whoa.
Also from Mayhem, Team Mayhem, I just confirmed it was a last second bug for Mayhem. They were going for the Galio. That's why I was thinking, you know, when you have a team like this for Team Mayhem, I mean, last game is potentially last game for them in the group stage. They really gotta take out their comfort picks. And when I see Ari, I was like, that's not really characteristic of them. But Team GOONS decided to go ahead and take out Akali in the mid lane.
I see. So it's gonna be Galio in the mid lane against the Akali.
Yeah, is it gonna be Galio versus Akali mid? Because I mean, I don't expect GOONS to be on. I mean, Hoon to be on the Malphite in the mid lane. That's just not.
No, I don't expect that.
That's not gonna happen.
But you know, anything can happen. Anything can happen. You never know.
True. Yeah, I mean, like we're in the 21st century, 2021 right now. Like Bitcoin just dropped 50% of its portfolio in like a few months, though. So yeah, absolutely. Everything is possible.
So we got ourselves, I think, you know, an idea of what's going to happen bottom lane. It's going to be Charm playing as that Rakan. It looks like we're going to be seeing a Gume game playing as that Kai'Sa. So Kai'Sa, Rakan, I think, you know, also a really stable lane. There's a lot of shielding that's available, a lot of movement around the lane, so the Rakan's able to dodge some of those Mystic shots. Braum's a stun as well to be able to get away from Braum if he does end up landing L auto attack, does end up potentially trying to go for that stun. We're going to see if that works out in their favor. However, we saw a really good performance coming in from Charm on that Janna last game. We're going to see if he's able to do it again on the Rakan, and especially when you've got some really good dive from the Wukong that's going to be most likely going to be played by Lev in the jungle with that top lane hitman with that Malphite. Unstoppable Force could be huge if Charm is able to land a really good charm on several members of Mayhem. That could be a ton of damage immediately right off the bat.
And remember that it's not just going to be the Rakan doing that alone, because for the entire team GOONS, they have a lot of setup, right? You're going to have the Malphite, you're going to have the Wukong, you're going to have a lot of setup. Their entire competition is full dive. That means it allows them zero mistake. If Malphite and Wukong is not able to land effective ultimates, or Rakan, it's gonna make it really awkward for Akali to find those engages. And especially if Akali is not able to snowball. So entire GOONS team, I would say it's a snowball heavy competition, where Mayhem, if you look at their competition, does allow them quite a bit of mistakes. You got a really tanky Baron laners. I mean, not saying Malphite is not tanky, but Mayhem jungler is the Olaf with the Ragnarok, making the immune to quad control, the Galio in the mid lane that combos with Olaf when Olaf engages. So a lot of protection, a lot of peel, you got a Braum on top of it. So you can see the thinking process when they're trying to do draft like this. One is very, very aggressive with Team GOONS. They're looking to pull out really flashy games. And when it comes to the Team Mayhem, we're looking at the complete reverse, right? Looking to scale, looking to protect, looking to play backwards. Which one to execute the comp better, we shall find out in this game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's all about execution, really. Who's going to be able to execute this fight better? Who's going to be able to perform better in these laning phases to be able to get their teams, especially these ADCs, off to a good start? Both Gume playing as that Kai'Sa and Soju on that Ezreal, they need a little bit of time to ramp up. So it's going to be up to Khan and Charm to be able to work really, really well in the early game to be able to get their ADCs into a good position. You would love to see some ganks coming in from either Leb or Kodo to potentially get their bottom lane into an early start. And it looks like both junglers making the decision to start off top side, wanting to be able to go for those ganks bottom lane. I think that that's going to be really big. Whoever gets the gank first, whoever gets the gank better in the bottom lane could potentially decide the outcome of this contest.
Yeah. But, I mean, they're rotating to the same side. Oh, but engage on the bottom lane, a little bit of poke. Overall, it's pretty peaceful. You pointed out absolutely correctly right here, because both jungler have the exact same jungle pathing. I mean, I'm talking about mirroring jungle pathing, not exactly the same. One started red, one started blue. But they're going to meet towards the bottom river scuttler. So we might potentially see a really aggressive early game. But then, at the same time, if you look at the entire Mayhem, they try to play defensive. I mean, they do have Braum, so the early game is strong, but is Braum going to rotate to the river? Right now, we're seeing the entire bottom side from GOONS just pressuring their opponent under tower right now.
Exactly, and we already see the priority from that is going to be able to get Lev into a position to be able to get the Scuttle Crab bottom lane, which does mean that GOONS does win out in that bottom engage, but it does look like we might be seeing an engage on a Hitman, though. Hitman gonna get ignited in the top lane. Does he survive?
Yep.
Barely survives in the top lane. Side, though, is going to be able to force the back out of Hitman. So that is at least something for Mayhem in the early game. But they do not want to lose anyone just yet. Looks like we could potentially be seeing another engage topside as well. Maybe. Nope. With Hitman gone, it does mean that Kodo is going to be able to get that Scuttlecraft.
Yeah.
It also means that Lev is going to be able to go for those Krugs fairly easily as well. So nothing too crazy happening there, but a crucial Ignite, I think, and a crucial engage coming in from the top lane, as we do get a little bit of a fight coming in bottom lane as well. Soju wanting to get some damage on the Charm. Not going to be able to get the kill, but, I mean, so far, back and forth battle, it is going to be the red team in a little bit of a gold lead at this point in the contest. It all boils down to whether or not they're going to be able to keep it. I mean, at this point, Mayhem would just love to be able to continue to keep this going. They don't want to give Goons any early kills just yet. Let the Ezreal get fed. Let the Galio get himself some tankiness so that once Soju gets himself into that second item, once he gets that Manamune, once he is able to get himself that early damage, or that damage moving into the mid game, it can be huge for them moving forward into those team fights.
Yep. And I'm going to issue my predictions right now. For Team Mayhem, they really got to rely on Sirento on the Garen to carry this game. Because, I was predicting double River Scholar, seeing how the bottom lane responded. But topside, Sirento is absolutely, winning the lane right now. He's doing so well against Hitman, one of the best top Baron laners in the entire North America region. So, if Team Mayhem want to have a chance, the open window have to come from the top side, have to come from the Garen. Garen have to out-rotate the Malphite over there and able to give the team more advantage, because I don't see the bottom side open up advantage anytime soon. I don't see the mid lane winning either. So it's all on you, Sirento.
Exactly, but I mean, also at the other end of that coin, like, Hitman playing as that Malphite, he's not too far behind the Garen just yet. Only about 2,000, 3,000, or not 2,000, 200, 300 gold behind at this point. I mean, when you're playing as the Malphite, when you have yourself that really good team fight combination available with the Wukong, you want to just be able to get into an even game moving into the team fight stage. And we already see Hitman coming through. A team fight is going to come in. He's going to be able to get the knockup. So much damage coming through. It's going to be Wukong drawing first blood onto the Olaf, looking to be able to get some more. Rakan going to get the kill onto the Galio. A lot of damage coming in on a Mayhem. Chaotic team fight side. The only member of the blue team alive, and the team fight already. The pressure is there. No one going down. What an amazing unstoppable force, followed up by that Cyclone coming in from Leb. The Charm coming in from Charms. Rakan getting everyone clumped together. Perfectly executed coming in from Goons. Moving into the mid game with a huge advantage.
I mean, let's take a look at a replay, see exactly what happened. For entire Mayhem, they have a competition that is more kite back and forth, the more poke, because they do have the Israel that is more skilled into the late game. I don't know why they're rushing this early game team fight so much. They should have been going back and forth. You saw it in that team fight. I mean, they just get charmed, right? I mean, they're grouping up all together, and on top of it, Garen used the ultimate on Rakan. They got the kill on Rakan, but at what cost? You gotta really save that ultimate for key targets like Gume, like Hoon, or like Latmon. You gotta save your ult. It's early game. If you're able to get a kill enemy jungler, it's such a good advantage. Help your team to secure this objective so much better. So again, the pressure is on Sirento to carry the team, but at the same time, it is maybe too much pressure at this point.
I mean, I think that Hitman won the laning phase, like, outright. The fact that unfortunately that Sai was unable to get that kill with that Ignite onto the Malphite early on really put the red team into a good situation, as we do get a little bit of damage coming in. Looks like the Rift Herald going to be the next target now for Goons to go for. They don't want a repeat of what happened last time. But all 5 members of Mayhem are here. They want to be able to try to contest this one. Is this the right choice? I don't know if it's the right choice right now. As we get another unstoppable force is going to come through. The Charm is going to come in again. The Wombo combo is there. It's going to be Soju going down. A red team double kill as he gets a triple kill now. Going to take down Suki and an ace. A double kill for Hoon. A triple kill coming in from left, and now they're gonna push forward, going to get the tower. They're gonna get the Rift Herald, and another disastrous team fight for Mayhem.
Once again, I'm gonna go back to my point. I'm gonna repeat my point over and over again. I mean, Mayhem, if they want to have a chance, they gotta understand the win condition for their composition. They're not playing to the win condition to their composition. They're forced a team fight against a composition that is much better at team fighting. You know, like, how are you gonna win those games? They're just getting wombo comboed back and forth right now. Like, getting Malphite ulted, Wukong ulted, and also, for those who didn't know, knockup in Wall Rift is the highest order of crowd control. You cannot cleanse that. You cannot use anything. You cannot use QSS. You cannot get away from it. When you get knocked up, you take the full length, full duration of the crowd control. So, and then that, if you look at the entire team of GOONS, they have 2 of those. I mean, they have 3 of those. I'm so sorry. Malphite's knockup, Rakan's knockup, Wukong's knockup, and we're gonna do that twice. So it's 4 times of knockup bottom side.
Oh, another team fight gonna come through. The Cyclone coming in, knocking them up yet again. Nothing that Mayhem can do. It's gonna be GOONS just steamrolling throughout the game even further. I mean, Dave, this looks like it's just gonna be another just, you know, demolishing victory right now for GOONS. 11 kills to 1. And that's, I mean, you hit the nail on the head as Suki. It looks like to trying to be going after that knockup. He's not going to be able to survive, going to go down. True Shot Barrage is going to come through, but not going to be able to deal much of anything damage-wise. And they're going to go back in again. Brom's going to get the knockup. The Charm is there. Going to be able to get the kill onto Sai, and now wants the kill even further. Another one going to go down. We do see Charm dying, but it's going to be Hitman getting a double kill. The killing spree is now there, and it is looking like this game might just be over. Gume trying to survive. The heal is going to come out from Gume to be able to get away, and will be able to get away for the time being. They don't get the inhibitor tower down, but it is so close to death, and another great fight coming in from GOONS.
Oh my god, this is just a slaughterhouse. This is just slaughter. I mean, this is no longer... I can't even say this is a competitive level game at this point. It just seemed like a one-sided. And speaking of being one-sided, look at mid lane.
Oh, they do get potentially the kill on to Hoon. They do at least get something there. Hitman, though, has the teleport. Going to be able to get the knockup. Everyone clubbed together. They're going to get the charge and the knockup again. It's going to be Wukong going unstoppable, and they want some more damage. They're going to look to get Kodo next. It is going to be a Charm going down with the knockup coming in from Suki, going to land onto the Wukong, but it's not going to be enough. Lev is still alive, and now the unstoppable force. Suki will die. It's going to be a triple kill coming in from Gume as they get another ace. Yes, they get the kill onto Charm. Yes, they get the kill onto Hoon. But at the end of the day, another 5 kills for GOONS. They're going to be able to get the second dragon of the game on top of potentially even being able to get Baron as well.
Oh my goodness. Like, I mean, what can I say? GOONS is too good. The Team GOONS, the synergy, the team fight, they're able... I think this type of playstyle, it suits Team GOONS especially, the full dive composition, because like I said, this team is probably, when we talk about like 5-man rotation, we're gonna talk about like 5-man synergy, one team doing one thing. Team GOONS probably leading the North America scene in clarity of objectives, on clarity of rotations. And this is exactly the, I mean, this is a composition that fits their character, right? Wherever they go as 5-man, wherever they engage, you see wombo combo over and over again. That's exactly what a composition does. Rakan ultimate on top of Malphite's ult, on top of Wukong's ult. You just can't do anything. We see multiple team fights where Kansui on the Braum not able to use ult just at all. Just get his CC chain and exploding the tank his person. Speaking of that,
another team fight gonna come through. Braum is gonna go down, can't even use his ultimate. He'll go down along with everyone else. It's gonna be a godlike Wukong. Ezreal does get the kill onto Charm, but again, another successful team fight coming in for GOONS. Soju very close to death. Gonna be able to try to get away, but Gume wants the kill. Kathy and Ring gonna be able to get that minions down. Looks like Soju might be able to get out of it. No, gonna get seeing Hitman.
Buying time.
Skill 3 to be able to get away, but no! It's gonna be the Void Seeker gonna land from Gume. Trying to be able to get away. Barely alive. Gonna die. It'll be a rampage coming in for Hitman. Gume gonna try to survive. No, will go down, so it will be a kill coming in for Sai, going to be able to get the kill on to Gume, using that ignite, using that spin to win, be able to get themselves something, but another fight going to come through. Lev is going to try to get out of that one, using that clone. Charm with the save, going to be able to get the shield. Lev is going to be able to survive, and the blue team, Mayhem, at least being able to get themselves a kill onto the ADC, but unfortunately, now behind by 15,000 gold.
Yeah, it's just not going to change too much. A little kills here and there is not able to turn, it just cannot be turned into any objectives. And that's the biggest part. When you get kills, it's not going to be a 2 to 3 kill all at once, so you can get 1 or 2 towers, get some standing gold on the map, get some objectives like the Baron. Because that's gonna be the turnaround team fights. But if you cannot do that, if all you get is able to pick off 1 kill, thanks to a just elongated team fight, that's not gonna help you that much. Because you can see that entire team Mayhem was low at the end of the team fight, so they can't siege any objectives. And then once again, Braum can use ult this time. Here we go.
We're going to see what they can do. We got Leb and Charm both on the way. Teleport is going to come through from Hitman. Wants to be able to get himself a huge knockup. Does he have flash? He does have flash, but decides not to go for it. Gonna let the disengage happen, but now with all 5 members of Goons there, they might be looking to go for Baron. We'll see if that is going to be the case. It's going to be Hitman going to be caught out on his own, but that might just be the play. Hero's Engine's going to come through, going to get a knockup onto several members of Goons, but unfortunately the wallet is just too strong. It's a double kill onto Hoon as they look for more. Hitman gonna go unstoppable side, extremely close to death. Leb with the Nimbus strike, gonna be able to go legendary on the side. Suke the Galio going to be the only member of Mayhem alive, and it is not going to be enough. It will end up being the bottom inhibitor going down, and they might just be able to take this win as well. They're gonna be looking to go for the tower. They've got the tower damage coming through. The Nexus is now down to 2,500 health, 2,000. They want the win, and they will get the win. Congratulations to Goons. Another exquisite, dominating performance against Mayhem.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it's hard to be a colorcaster. It's hard to be an analyst, to be honest. There's nothing to analyze this game. I mean, it's the same talking point over and over again. Look at this. Look at this KDA. 6 to 29 from both sides. You look at the entire damage chart. It's like just very chaotic performance from Mayhem. Very uncharacteristic of them, because Mayhem is a team that we know from the week 1, the team that's going to be always on objective on time. That's the signature. And also they at this point of the tournament, they should know their win condition and play towards that. Play smart, not play hard, right? Because this tournament is completely reverse, 180 degree of that. They constantly go into a team composition that wants team fight. You got a Malphite, you got a Wukong, you got a Rakan. Why are you doing that, right? You got a Galio that can poke, you got Israel that can poke. What you gotta do is let them do their job and just go back and forth. And that's not what we've seen in this game. Once again, what a textbook demonstration from entire team Goons to show us how it's done properly.
Exactly. I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. You've got Soju Rain playing as that Ezreal. You got Suki playing as that Galio. I mean, even Kodo going to be able to drop the axes, be able to get a little bit of poking damage here and there. Khan going to be able to use his skill 1 to be able to get himself that slow and that potential stun onto a crucial opponent. But you saw it at the very beginning of the game. Goons, I mean, to credit to Mayhem as well, like you were saying in that, like you were saying before, you know, Mayhem was timed correctly for that first dragon. They had all 5 members there for that team fight, but at the end of the day, that was not going to be a fight that they were going to want to win. That was not a team fight that they wanted at that point in the contest. Hitman going to be able to use that unstoppable force. You've got the charm coming in from the Rakan, followed up by the Wukong Cyclone. It's just too much knockups, too much ability for Gume and Hoon to be able to do what they want, assassinate, obliterate, do whatever damage necessary in order to get themselves the win. I mean, if you look at the damage, I'm looking at the damage right now. Gume, so much damage, 21,000 damage coming in from that Kaisa, 18,000 damage coming in from Hoon on the Akali, just so dominant in those team fights. And you hit the nail, I think, again, on the head, that poking damage necessary for Mayhem to potentially be there. I felt like maybe it was like a miscommunication in terms of what they wanted in the draft pick.
Yeah.
When you've got somebody that goes all in like the Olaf, and you've got the follow-up with the Galio and with the Braum, You then have another frontline member in the Garen. Like, there's just so much frontline, but no protection for the Ezreal.
And absolutely, you look at like what Team Mayhem did this game. Garen, like I said, the star of Mayhem in this match. Even Garen was using ult a few times in a row onto the Rakan, and in the very last team fight, they focused everything on the Hitman, and it grouped together. It's kind of like a group of ants, you know, just like, let's go chase this little object all together. And that's how ants got eliminated, because they always group up. And sometimes you can group up, especially against a composition that heavily rely on the AoEs. I mentioned in the beginning of the game, if Rakan, if the Wukong, the Hitman on the Malphite not able to land ult on a group of people from entire team Mayhem has a chance because they can kite back, they can go back and forth. But that's not what we saw. We just see them grouping together and going all in against Team GOONS. So surely that resulted in disaster. But ladies and gentlemen, that will be the match 1 of the day. Victory to Team GOONS. And we're gonna take a short break, but when we come back, is Team Tribe versus Team Yawn. And just want to let you know right now, with this victory, Team GOONS does secure their position as number 1 in the group stage, going to the playoff. And we're gonna have Team Mayhem does secure number 4th place. Their road to victory is far from over. You know, they still have a long way to go. Next week, this is the week to reorganize, watch the VODs, see what's going on. And next week is the week that you really shoot for the stars and play for the playoffs. So, we're gonna go ahead and take a short break. Do not go anywhere. Share the stream with your friends, with your family. Next game, Tribe versus Team Young. Coming soon. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets alike, welcome back to the Mobile Mayhem North America Wild Rift Tournament Season 1, the match 2 of Week 2, the last day of the group stage, featuring Team Tribes and Team Youngs. I'm your caster, AssassinDave. With me, the one and only sexy and charming Mr. Moose.
Oh, I'm blushing here now, Dave. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me as well. It has been such a fun weekend of League of Legends Wild Rift action here today, and we are not done yet. However, we are jumping into our last bracketed game of the regular season here, with Yawn facing off against Tribe Gaming in this next bracket matchup. Whoever wins this one is going to be able to get themselves into rank 2. Whoever loses this one is going to be in rank 3. For Tribe, it's an opportunity for them to show, hey, we are the 3rd seed. We're able to get ourselves a win more than Mayhem and get themselves into a spot where they're, maybe in rank 2. For Yawn, it's a chance to say, hey, we belong at rank 2, getting ourselves that 2nd seed, getting themselves into an advantage moving into the semifinals. And this is going to be a fun game, an exciting game, most likely going to be a taste of what Tribe and Yawn are going to be able to do in the semifinals against each other. Barring some craziness happening here, most likely is going to be Tribe facing off against Yawn in the semifinals first round. We're going to find out whether or not that is going to be the case, though. We're going to see whether or not Tribe is able to confirm themselves a win as we do get ourselves into the first game of this round. It's going to be Tribe banning out Wukong, and Ziggs going to be taken away from Yawn as well. So 2 very good picks taken care of. Let's see how it plays out.
Now, before I go to the ban pick, I do want to point out that as you can see on the standing, just as Mr. Moose just correctly mentioned, the current standing won't change that much, right? If Tribe wins 2-0 against Yawn, they will secure the number 2 spot, but they have no chance of getting number 1 for the group stage. But that would possibly change in the playoffs. Remember, Tribe is still the top contestant to be the representative of North America to go to the Worlds. So yes, they might have a bad week last week, but this weekend they might get better, they might train better. Next week they might get even more ready to go against, to even fight for the grand finals, because if Tribe wins against Yawn, they most likely to play against Yawn again, because we already know that from the last match, Mayhem is not going to progress to number 3 anymore. So GOONS is going to play against Mayhem again in the playoff. So Tribe is going to play against Yawn again in the playoffs. So today is more of
They decided to go with a little bit more of a backline to be able to get themselves some more consistent damage. The ultimate Destiny going to be able to move around the Rift extremely easily with that teleport, and he's going to be able to be a little bit more safe as well because he has that stun with that yellow card if he decides to go for it. I'm curious to see if it's going to be enough, though. We've got Yawn with a lot of stunning ability, a lot of knockup potential, a lot of ability to be able to keep a champion in place with the Chain of Corruption, with the Tornado, with the stun coming in from Kennan's ultimate, and then Darius just being able to use that Noxian Guillotine, destroying a backline if they're able to get to him. The final pick gonna be a Kha'Zix coming into the jungle.
I mean,
Yawn.
I doubt Yawn is playing seriously right now. I think this is last week, so everybody's having a little bit chill for the group stage. I mean, that is. So I think everyone is taking a little chill pill, especially Yawn. I mean, look at their composition. Who takes Cannon so early? I mean, I understand maybe Suki have inspired the North America region to reignite the passion for Cannon, but then who took Cannon so early in Wild Rift right now? That just doesn't, I don't know. That doesn't add up, right? So on top of it, we got a Kha'Zix debut in the Mobile Mayhem Tournament Season 1. So I mean, if you look at the entire team of Yawn, you got a more protective support. You got a ADC who can fit in every single role. I mean, that's Varus. So, but they don't really have a clear engage. Maybe you build full tank on the Darius. Maybe you have someone stay in the front. But who is the front end engage for the Cannon? Because last time when we saw you have a Braum, the game that yesterday when we saw Suki going in with the Cannon, he didn't even get to ult. He just died instantly, right? So today when we have Cannon taken out for Team Yawn, but they don't really have someone who can engage and Cannon can follow up, then who is gonna be that engaged? Are we just completely solely rely on the cannon engage? But what if Team Tribe doesn't give you the opportunity? What if they don't stay together? Even if they group together, you remember you have the Olaf, the Ragnarok, the immune to quad control stay in the front. And you got a Chuck who's gonna be stay on the side, throwing those cards, stun everybody, doing a lot of burst damage if they skills late game. So, I mean, I think Yang's not... The composition is definitely trial and error to prepare for the next week, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, at the other end of that spectrum, like I want to talk about Yon's composition just as a whole. Like even if they are playing for fun, and if they're just saying, hey, we just want to see how this works out. I'm not particularly convinced that this is a good composition to begin with. Like you've got the displacement coming in from the Janna when you want everyone clumped together for the Kennen's ultimate. It doesn't make too much sense, and to me at least, to be able to go for a consistent game, for a consistent team fight ability, when you've got that Chain of Corruption coming in from the Varus, when you want the Darius to have everyone kind of clumped together so that he's able to use that skill 1 to get that healing and that damage, to go for a Janna and then a Kennen together, it doesn't really compute for me at this point. Now that doesn't mean then that they're not going to be able to execute it in a way that I'm not thinking of. Maybe the Janna is able to use Flash and then gets behind the back line for a big Tempest or for a big Monsoon to be able to get Kennen a big Tempest to be able to then go for that stun, but to then get that kill. But you've got a lot of opportunity for, I think, Tribe to be able to keep their backline safe. You've got Ragnarok coming in from that Olaf. You've got Garen and Braum, who are both extremely beefy in that front line, so that the back line is able to stay safe. And then, I mean, at the end of the day, Killer Instinct going to be there for Old School to be able to use that effectively. I think that Tribe, in terms of draft, has won game 1 draft-wise. Now all they need to do is execute it effectively and get themselves into an early lead, not allow the Kazakhs and the Varus to get fed early on, and this game is over.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. This, again, it's just... I can see the kinky strategy coming out from the entire team of Yan right here, but it's really just... They got a very little, tiny room of error. If they make tiny mistakes, the entire game is going to slide to Tribe, but Tribe's known to do that. And without further ado, guys, the first game between Tribe and Yan is going to go ahead and start right here. Let's take a look at the starting position for both teams.
Exactly. So we got Max Green obviously going to be playing as that Braum. We've got Old School on the Kai'Sa. Tiger's going to be playing as the Olaf, starting with that Twisted Fate, and then Chuck going to be playing as that Garen in the top lane. Meanwhile, for the red team, for Yan, we've got Amazing coming in, MTS coming in with that Darius. We've got Nine playing as that Cannon. Stovey going to be with Joey in the bottom lane with that Janna Varus combo, and then Zenith, who had a really good game yesterday, playing against KND, was able to perform really well in those games that he played. We're going to see him play as that Kazakhs. I think this is the first time in the tournament that we have seen Kazakhs played. One of the newer champions on the Rift, I believe. We're going to have that invisibility as well. And so that's going to be, I think, really cool to see. I'm excited to see how he's going to be able to perform. If he's able to get that isolated damage, assassinate somebody effectively, to be able to get that early game advantage, even in the late game, can be effective. But he has to get fed early on. It's a very feast or famine style champion. If he's unable to get those early kills, if he's unable to get that early damage, it could spell disaster for the blue team or for the red team moving forward. As it looks like we might be seeing an engage come in from Chuck. Nope, he's just going to go for that Scuttle Crab. Good choice there, as we see Tigers going for Scuttle Crab.
This is quite interesting, because even though both teams are not communicating and we don't see that many wards on the map, but they're completely mirroring each other. Like, look at Olaf's position, look at Kaz's position. Both sides clean their red and slowly inching forward to the blue. I just want to mention about top side. It's a little bit... I don't think anything's going to happen to a Garen.
Top side, but look at bottom side now. Looks like we did get a nice play coming in from Stovey to be able to use that ward effectively, to be able to make sure that they see that engage. So nicely done coming in from Tribe to be able to recognize the potential gank. Bottom side there with the Kazakhs in the top lane. They knew that the gank potentially could be coming for the Olaf. And it looks like Stovey may be looking to go up against Tiger. He is level 5, though. He does have Ragnarok, and he is going to get seen. He wants to go for it. The Ragnarok is there. is going to come through from starting. They want the kill, and they're going to get it on the Zenith. First blood goes to Tribe. 9 going to have to teleport out of the way. He wasn't level 5 yet. How did starting get level 5 first against 9, even with that roam? How did he do it? Amazing coming in from Tribe.
I mean, when we look at Tribe, Tribe and GOONS are very similar in a lot of ways, right? It's more mid-core focus. When you look at Tribe, you really look at the start of the team, it's like starting in the mid lane, because he's able to out-farm everybody in the game, usually, most of the time. Doesn't matter if the team is behind it or ahead. Starting is always going to be having a lot of money. If this team Tribe is behind it, look to starting for the late game carry, for the late game potential, for the late game turnaround. And right now, you look at starting, he's finding a mechanic to be able to farm, and he's already got Rod of Ages. There's only 3 minutes into the game, still a minute to the dragon. And look at Cannon, he's still struggling for that first item. And it seems like he might go for the dash cap as the first item, but he's definitely not gonna get it before the first dragon, actually, because it's gonna take too much money. And then, if you look at the entire team, look at Zenith's rank 1, he was not able to counter invade the blue buff, even though Kha'Zix is one of the best heroes to take objectives, to take buffs, especially the isolated buffs. Then he didn't do that, he just recalled it, gave away the blue buff to T-Tigers, which resulted in him being under level, because they have to jump away right now, but this might not be enough.
Trying to get away, looks like he will be able to get to the brush and will not get hit by Starting's yellow card just fine. But the momentum is now built for Tribe. They're able to get themselves not only that second Scuttle Crab, but they're also in good position to potentially get themselves the first dragon of the game. It is a Cloud Drake. Maybe not necessarily the most valuable Drake out of the bunch, but still be able to get potentially even more of an early game advantage. But it looks like we got both members of both teams now looking to go for something amazing is there, but Zenith gonna get caught out, and it's gonna be Starting getting the kill onto Zenith. It's going to be the redemption getting used, get a little bit of healing there. Amazing is now very low. Nice play, though. What a stun coming in from 9. Unfortunately, the follow-up was not there. Destiny going to come in from Starting, and that's 2 more kills coming in for Tribe. Man, unfortunate coming in from 9. That was such an amazing ultimate coming in from the cannon. He just wasn't able to get himself the assistance necessary in order to get that extra little bit of damage to secure the kills and get Yon into a lead. Devastating there for Yon, as he does end up going for that rabbit on death cap first. Unfortunately, though, I mean, just unfortunately not going to be able to get the kills.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what I was saying about Kha'Zix. In the last team fight, you see it in a perfect demonstration. Kha'Zix is getting absolutely destroyed in a second. This champion might be a really good ranked champion right now, especially with the recent nerfs on the Evelyn, where it's probably the most reliable invisibility champion in the entire game. And then, especially in ranked game, you can bully a lot of random players with Kha'Zix. But in a competitive environment against Tribe, you can bet they're gonna be very seldomly isolated. That's why when Kha'Zix is being pulled out, I was like, this is definitely more of a warm-up game, especially this game 1 of the last days of last match also. So we're seeing a lot of that from Team Yon, and bottom tier 1 tower is gonna go easily to Team Tribe.
Exactly, but also, like, I want to point out something that's a big issue that in that last fight that really wasn't addressed yet. If you look at Chuck playing as that Garen in the top lane, look at his score right now, 0-0-0. Staying in that top lane, wasn't even a participant in that dragon fight.
Don't need him.
Tribe was able to win that one 5v4.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's huge for Tribe moving forward. That's a ton of momentum. It means that Chuck is in the lead a little, but actually not really. I mean, Darius being able to farm quite well in the top lane against Chuck, being able to get that CS there, keeping even in terms of experience and in gold. But the fact that they were able to win that 4v5 is huge. But now we're gonna get an engage coming in. What a glacial finish. We're gonna knock up 3. Kennen, though, gonna be able to go in for another stun, and yet again, the damage is not there. The coordination is not there. It's going to be Yon losing 2 and maybe even a little bit more. Nazi Guillotine is going to land. He's going to be able to get a kill, but unfortunately it won't be enough. It's going to be a killing spree coming in for GOONS, or I'm sorry, for Tribe, able to get themselves a triple kill on to Tigers, and now not only do they get the Rift Herald, but now they secure themselves a 11,000 gold lead.
This is more intense than the last game. You know, Tribe was probably getting 10,000 gold lead at around 8 minutes. This is only 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We already see over probably 11,000 gold advantage. Like many turrets around the map. The first outer turrets, all 3 outer turrets are already gone for the favor of Team Tribe. Look at all the turrets from Tribe. Not a single tower is. It's almost like you can't even say they're scratched. Not a single plate has been taken out, and then they have map control all across the map. MTS doing absolute best, so the only kill available for Team Yon right now. I mean, you gotta feel bad for MTS. He was not able to do much, even though he got a kill. Finally on starting is just to initiate a passive, but not able to snowball into more kills. Unfortunately, in the tournament, because when you go against Tribe, they know how to kite, they know how to play against Darius. Not gonna let you continue to dunk on people. So, I mean, at this point, I would already say it's almost GGWP for the side of Yon.
It's gonna be tough, I think, for Yon to be able to get this game back under control. The big issue that I'm seeing is the gold advantage. MTS is going to be the richest man on Yon right now at 5,900 gold. He is going to be able to get a little bit of damage on Max Green, but he is able to get out of that one. Nicely done. The Rift Herald not even going to lose any health. Actually, pretty much going to get wasted there from Tribe, but they don't really need it. They're going to be able to go in for that dragon immediately. Going to be able to go for that second mountain, or for that second dragon. It's going to be a mountain drake this time. And going to be looking to add to their advantage even more. But it looks like they might be going in for a fight. The Glacial Fissure again. Sizing Maelstrom going to come through from 9 to be able to get the stun. But yet again, not enough damage. It will be the Noxian Guillotine going to land on to Max Green. Will at least be able to get a kill, but Tiger's gonna go and get it himself another kill. Old School gonna go onto a rampage, and unfortunately, yet again, coming in from Yon, they are going to lose 3 members compared to just 1 for Tribe. They're going to be able to get themselves their second dragon of the game. They're going to be in the lead by 16,000 gold.
You know, I gotta keep it 1,000 with you guys. I mean, Cannon at 9 is playing on Cannon. He's absolutely like just doing his best. Also, right? He's popping off with his ultimates. His ultimate's able to get like 3, 4, 5 people every single time. So, but it's just not gonna be enough because you got a Kha'Zix on top of it who's not able to snowball, who's behind her right now, and you can't get a worse champion than Kha'Zix than any assassin, to be honest, when they're behind. When assassin is behind, because assassin relied full all in to do damage, and if they're behind, they're not able to do that. You know, they can't all in and kill somebody. If they can't even trade, it just become a dead weight for the team. You saw in the last team fight, doesn't matter how good Zen is as a player, this champion just doesn't contribute much in the team fight at all. Like, he just jumps around, jumps out, walk back, and gets skill 1 by Old School and died. So, and did nothing that entire team fight. And on top of it, this Kha'Zix is the E-evolved Kha'Zix. So, he's not able to utilize that jump at all. Like, this is why also in competitive, you mostly see the R evolve, see a Q evolve, and W evolve. So you can do more slow, do more damage, do more heal, but E evolves too risky, it's more of a rank play. Unless you're like 10-0 or something like that, getting E evolves is way too risky. And you see that in this game, it's evident in this game.
Exactly, and that's, I mean, and unfortunately now, I mean, with an 18,000 gold lead, I think, for Tribe, I think that it's just inevitable for them to be able to take this win. They're already getting 9 to about half HP in the mid lane. The Baron buff going to be pretty much soloed, or not soloed, but duoed, coming in from Old School and Tigers. Not going to even need starting's damage there, as they look to potentially just end this game now. I don't think that there's really anything that Yon can do except just go down with their dignity potentially intact. They might be able to go for one final stand at the Nexus. As they get the stun coming in auto starting, it's going to be Tribe getting even more damage to come through. They're going to be able to get the first inhibitor tower to go down. Tigers now looking to go to the top side, rotating nicely, going to be able to get the second tower down in the mid lane. And this might just do it. The stun is going to come through onto 9. 9 is going to go down immediately, going for a dominating play coming in from Tigers, as all 3 inhibitors now go down. One final stand for Yon as they look to potentially get this one back for one final fight. They don't even get it. Tribe gonna go for the throw, takes the win, and secures themselves a victory in Game 1.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I can't say I mean, I understand this is the last week. Everybody's having fun, so we're in a chill mood. But at the same time, like in this phase of North America competitive scene, I think it's better for team to treat every single match seriously, because every single match against teams on Tribes caliber, on Team GOONS caliber, you should treat it more as a practice, more of a scrim, you know, because you're not going to get this opportunity very often on a day-to-day basis. And on top of it, you're not going to have a lot of time, you know, on that basis as well. So the fact that this is for Team Yon to get a composition like this, and they're not going to use this in tournament very often, I think is more. They couldn't be used better. They could have used this opportunity a lot better, in my opinion, and then just get practice and get ready for the playoffs.
Right, and I mean, that's probably, I think, something that needs to be addressed for Yon moving forward. But I mean, also at the end of the day, shout out to Tribe being able to get themselves a really dominant win. I mean, this was a textbook performance coming in from Tigers on that Olaf, coming in from Old School, not dying at all. 4-0-6, almost 3 items in for Old School, 12,000 gold for him. Again, Tigers going in 6-0-5. Death Stance, Stera, Gage, Black Cleaver. The damage, my goodness, from starting and Tigers. Wow, so much damage coming through. And even though you saw the cannon with that slicing maelstrom able to get that stun coming in, he didn't have the damage to back it up. We saw Rabadon's death cap, first item coming in from 9. And I mean, I'm going to emphasize it again. I don't think that Rabadon's is the best choice first item. You need more AP for it to be really, really useful. I mean, maybe he knows something that I don't, but unfortunately, the damage wasn't there. Joey is still with 11,000 damage in the fight, doing more damage than Old School, even more damage than Tigers in the game. But unfortunately, when you got 3 members of Tribe getting above, 10,000 damage at before the end of the game, it's just too much for Yon to be able to handle, and unfortunately they end up just falling down in a really good game for Tribe. Going to be able to take game 1, and now we're going to be looking to close it out, win game 2, and secure themselves the 2nd place spot in the playoffs.
And I'm going to just predict right now, probably we're going to see another Vayne game from Old School, Vayne Lulu combination, because we saw it yesterday, and then at this point, Tribe got to take it, just relax a little bit, treated the game, to boost a little bit more confidence. I think that might be more beneficial for Tribes, because this is already a team that with a lot of building characteristic. They got players that won champions in the mobile MOBA scene, so they're really high caliber players. So for them, right, I think from a coaching standpoint, it's better for a team to have a little bit of fun and get ready for the next match, because you can see from the previous game that just the team difference right now in this match. I mean, if I'm Tribe coach, I would tell them to relax, take a chill pill, take time to get out of Vayne, time to get out that little bit Kha'Zix or Rengar. I don't know. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't liked, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells, this is your time to go ahead and do that and share the stream with your friends, with your grandparents. We're gonna take a short break. We'll come back for the game 2 between Team Tribes and Team Yon. Do not go anywhere. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans and pets, welcome back to the Mobile Mayhem North America Wild Rift Tournament Season 1. Yet again, potentially the last match of the entire group stage, featuring Team Tribe versus Team Young, with Tribe 1-0 ahead at their match point in the all-round banquet format. I'm your caster, AssassinDave. With me, the one and only Sexy. How you doing, Mr. Moose?
Oh, I'm doing a fantastic, Dave. It has been a fun day of Wild Rift action so far, and we've got ourselves even more games coming towards us here today with another potential win for Tribe. If they're able to win this one, they're going to be able to confirm the second place spot in the playoffs tomorrow or next week. It's going to be a fun game for sure. Tribe with the win last game with a really solid composition, being able to perform extremely well throughout the bracket. We're going to have to see what Jan is going to be able to do. Jan's bracket, Jan's lineup in the last game, definitely maybe a little bit questionable, little bit off meta, a little weird coming in from a composition standpoint. But what are they going to be able to bring to the table round 2? They've still got a lot of options open and available to them to go into round 2. The Garen is going to get banned. I think that's a wise choice coming in from Tribe.
They didn't ban.
Even still, there's Camille that's available. There's Fiora that's available. We'll just have to see what Jan decides to go for.
Yeah, we need to confirm that what Jan banned. They were first ban. They were first pick, but I don't think people were paying attention sometimes in the all-round ban pick. I mean, especially our ban pick portal is independent from the game, so sometimes they might get the game a little bit confused. You know, like they just might not pay that much attention. So I want to confirm quickly on exactly what they banned right now. But you're absolutely right. Last game they were using competition that's more, like I said, last game of the day. Let's have a last match of the day. Let's have a little bit fun. So that's what they did. So they didn't use any heroes, any champions. This game they got everything available. Are we gonna see a full dive? You already see Wukong being that first pick.
And I think that for Jan, I think that Ziggs was the ban choice. I could be mistaken though. I think that might be the other choice there coming in for Jan. We'll see if they do decide to go for a little bit more of a team fight heavy comp. They got that Wukong already lined in for the jungle Zenith rank, looking to be able to use that effectively. But that does leave a couple of options available, like that Camille to be able to go in for that top lane. And it looks like we might even be able to see a Tigers game playing as that Gragas in the jungle. Ooh, this is going to be fun to see. Are we going to be able to see what Tigers is going to be able to do in that jungle lane with the Gragas? Camille, an extremely strong top laner, very stable against most matchups. We'll see how that plays out for Tribe as we move throughout the draft. Rakan getting hovered by Jan, looking to potentially be able to get a nice play there. We'll see if that is going to be the decision, and it is going to be the Xayah Rakan combo. Coming in the bottom lane.
Joey
Nicely
and Stovey.
Done. Yeah, Joey and Stovey with the Xayah Rakan. We'll see what the Vastaya duo is going to be able to do here in this game. And we'll see if they're able to perform effectively with it. The charm, we've seen how effective the charm can be to be able to get multiple members clumped up together. That means the Wukong could potentially be able to go in for that Cyclone, to be able to then get that knock-up damage to secure themselves a lot of sustained damage so that the Xayah is able to easily get that piercing arrow or those piercing feathers to be able to go through, get that damage in. Oh, looks like we're seeing maybe a couple of different ADCs played by Tribe or shown by Tribe. See what they decide to go for. We got the Janna hovered. We got the Varus hovered.
Yeah.
A couple of seconds remaining in the draft. Let's see what they decide to go for.
I mean, if you're looking for practice, like I mentioned in the last game, this is the time, right? So getting the Varus, getting Janna definitely make a lot of sense. You have, again, we mentioned this yesterday, when you have Varus, it's more of a flex pick. You can go offensive and go defensive. You saw the last game also, when the entire tribe was diving on the Jan, so Varus using that ultimate to stop the momentum, stop the charge. And also when Cannon was going in, it was Varus following up the crowd control and doing quite a bit. And obviously, Varus being last game from Joey was doing the most amount of damage for the entire team Jan. This champion is getting more and more popular, more and more mainstream as we go, because how much lane presence he has, how much poke damage he can dish out. 2 auto attack, and then with an arrow, with a skill 2, that's tremendous amount of burst damage. Not to mention if you get 3 passive proc stack onto your opponent. So I like the champion a lot. I'm glad Varus is coming more and more to the mainstream meta. So this is going to be a really fun match. Oh, we have Renekton being picked out by Yon.
Yep, amazing to be able to play as that Renekton in the top lane. It looks like we are going to be seeing a mid lane Seraphine coming in from 9, which can be extremely potent with the charm coming in from the Rakan, with the stun coming in from Amazing. But it's a big wombo combo that is potentially available for this team fight for Yon. And look at the mid decision coming in from Tribe. A huge pick. I love the play, starting to be playing as that Corki. Yep. Very safe option. Going to be able to potentially get away from that Encore, making it extremely difficult for the charm to get used as well. You've got yourself a really high-octane backline. You've got yourself a lot of disengage coming in from Tigers and that explosive cast for the Gragas. I'm very happy with this draft coming in from Tribe, but also shout out to Yon. Like, this is, I think, a very strong composition. If they're able to use it effectively, if they're able to get the consistent damage and land those ultimates in those crucial team fights, it could be a big game for them and a huge win if they're able to get it. But Tribe, they could be potentially extremely safe with old school playing as that Varus. You've got, starting playing as that Corki. They could be very much backline, allow for Tigers to be able to use that explosive cast to be able to get for that disengage, separate Yon's team fight potential, and make it impossible for them to land those ultimates. I'm interested to see if it's going to be able to play out that way, though, as we get ourselves ready to jump into the game.
Yeah, same. Like, again, Team Yon does have a huge team fight presence, and Tribe, don't get this wrong, Tribe has the same thing, and their initiation is actually on par, if not even better a lot of times, because when you have Camille's ultimate, the Hextech ultimatum, to lock someone down, you can follow that up with quite a bit of quality control. Follow up with Gragas, Chen CC, follow up with, the obviously old school ultimate from the Varus. So you have a lot of Chen CC coming from Team Tribe as well. It's all depends on, but Tribe does have a lot more poking potential, a lot more back and forth, and Tribe does that the best in the entire tournament. When you talk about the poking composition, old school cannot be more proficient when we talk about poking, because he is probably one of the best Israel player in North America. And if you're talking about Corki, starting was on the leaderboard for North America #1 Corki for quite a long time. And then, so when you look at the entire competition for Tribe, they got Camille, which is T-Tiger's signature champion as well. So everybody's playing their comfort picks, playing their best pick. They're treating this game seriously, and they're looking to bring us an awesome game right now.
Exactly. I'm super pumped to see how this game is going to play out. It looks like we are about ready to begin round number 2. Tribe facing off against Yon. An opportunity potentially for Tribe to close this game out, go for a 2-0 victory here in this final game or final match of the regular season. Will they be able to make that happen, or will Tribe not be able to get themselves this win? And will we see the potential damage coming through? Interesting decision, though. It does look like we're going to get 9 playing as that Rakan in the mid lane rather than the Seraphine. It means that we're going to get a support Seraphine coming in from Stovey. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out for 9 in the mid lane. It's going to be a little weird. I haven't seen it before. Let's see how it plays out against the Corki.
This is so he's going to be poked so bad. You've already seen it in mid lane. I mean, I don't know what Yon's doing at this point. I mean, like, okay, I got some feedback from the players, because Wild Rift infrastructure is not full. It's not at the place that we actually want it to be right now. You got quite a bit of server issues, and there's no central server, which means the tournament when it's hosted, it's either West server or East server. So you got a lot of ping differences. And then when I'm talking to Team Yon, like, why are you guys picking causes? Why are you doing this and that? The feedback I got from the player last match was they were like, oh, we're already lagging so much, so why we're trying so bad? Oh, looking at the bottom side.
Looks like there's a little bit of damage coming in from starting and Tigers.
Joey?
Looking to get the kill onto Stovey. Now Jovi's caught out and will end up dying. It will be first blood coming in for Tigers on that Camille in the jungle. We're not getting a Dragas jungle. It is a Camille jungle coming in from Tigers with a little bit of damage coming in on Old School onto the Varus. Now extremely low. Still be able to get alive, but I mean, regardless of, you know, lag or MS issues, at the end of the day, like, you should know that that could potentially be a case.
Yeah.
Tribe has been working really good with that map awareness, with starting being able to get down there, with Max Green being able to use that tornado to get that knockup. Joey was way too far ahead, and now it's going to be able to put Tribe in a little bit of an early game advantage, up by 1,000 gold. We'll see if they're able to continue to keep it up, though, as we do get a little bit of damage on it, too, starting. 9 now caught out, potentially. Will be able to survive.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. We have Recon mid going against Corky. You're going to get poked out of the lane. And Camille bottom side.
Oh, a little bit of damage. Hextech Ultimatum is there. Stovey getting caught out again. Another good kill coming in from Tigers on that Camille. Going to be able to use that Hextech Ultimatum effectively, assassinating the roaming Seraphine. Looking to be able to get some warding down. Unfortunately, not even going to be able to drop a ward. Ends up dying, giving the red team, giving Tribe a big lead now, up by almost 3,000 gold, moving into the 3-minute mark. The Dragon going to be spawning very soon, man. Right now, I mean, Max Green already level 5. We've got, you know, we got Tigers already level 5 with that Hextech Ultimatum. Old School with that Chain of Corruption. We still have level 4, barely level 5 for Joey on that Xayah. Stovey still does not have Encore ready. If they want to be able to contest this team fight, use that team fight composition that they've got in the bottom lane. They need to be able to use it effectively to be able to get that first Dragon. They need to get level 5 now in order to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at everybody's level, you correctly point out everyone's level 5 at this point, and I just want to point out Camille is going to have ultimate before Dragon comes up, because she used the right when she turned level 5 on the Stovey, on the Seraphine, so she shouldn't have the cooldown come off like right before the Dragon spawns. So the next team fight is, once again, Team Tribe is ready, and everybody has already gotten their items. We can take a look. You know, everybody's sitting at like really good items. You have Varus already Manamune, so it's not even upgraded yet, but they got a tier 1 item, and I'm just waiting for Corey to go back home, get a package, and to start a Dragon, to be honest.
Exactly, and I think that is what they're waiting for. Tribe going to be able to see the opportunity there, but instead of waiting, it's going to be Yon making the decision to go for the Dragon now. Old School is ready, going to go for the Chain of Corruption, and will be able to get a lot of damage onto Joey's Dragon. Uses ultimates, go invulnerable. Blue team will be able to take the Dragon down. The Cyclone is there. Max Green with an amazing use of that Monsoon will be able to survive. It will be the engage coming through. Starting is now coming through. It's a double kill for Old School as we get another kill coming in for Starting. Able to get the kill onto 9 in that recon. The top lane going back and forth. Amazing versus Truck. Nothing crazy happening there damage-wise, but unfortunately there for Yon. Yes, they get the Dragon, but badly. They needed to be able to keep themselves alive. They're going to end up losing the first tower out of that play, getting Tribe into a 7,000 gold advantage.
And this is only 5 minutes. Like I said, if you're talking about disciplined team gameplay, and this game we see more and more Tribe and GOONS, 2 teams, they play very similar to each other. Oh, mid lane, just a little bit poke. But like this game, we see more of Tribe playing as a team. They're very united also, but mid lane and jungle synergy is getting much better as we speak. Top side, a little bit more action on MTS. We might potentially see a dive right here.
Looks like Old School and Max going in for the switch, and it will be a rampage coming in on the Tigers. Won't be able to survive that one. Old School gonna be able to try to go for a little bit of damage, but it will be Zenith being able to get the shutdown with that Wukong on the Tigers. That is at least a kill now for Zenith and the rest of the blue team in Yon. They're gonna be looking to potentially go for the second kill momentarily, but no, not gonna be able to get it just yet. It will end up being just that one kill, able to get something going for Zenith on that Wukong with the Rift Herald now spawned. We'll see what the blue team wants to be able to do with that, but it does look like we are getting the rotation. The lane switch coming in. MTS going to be going down as the Renekton into the bottom lane, but the switch was there first, coming in from Tribe. So great awareness there, recognizing that they wanted Max Green and Old School ready to go for this Rift Herald that is spawned now and ready for the red team to take. We'll see if they do decide to go for it sooner rather than later. They could also decide to go for the jungle camps as well. And that looks to be the case. Tiger's going to be there, looking to be able to get themselves some damage onto that dragon, onto that buff. It will end up being Zenith being able to get the kill onto it, so nothing happening there. But while they were doing that, they do decide to go for the Rift Herald. It does deleash. So unfortunately, I think that play not working out the best for Tribe. They're still going to try to go for it, though, with MTS still showing bottom lane.
You know, this is because you pointed out that Tribe's initiated the swap, the lane swap, and Young actually followed it. And that's my biggest problem, because when you're behind as a team, you cannot follow your enemy's footsteps. Because if you follow exactly what enemy does, you're gonna just fall further behind. They're already ahead doing the same thing that you're doing, and if you constantly try to trade with them exactly the same way, you're gonna fall further behind. Instead of doing that, imagine sending 2 people mid lane to take the mid tier 1 tower, or keep the two people bottom, keep your duo lane on the bottom side, on the dragon side, to take a bottom tier 1 tower. This might give yourself more gold and potentially come back. But then if you keep on trying to trade like this, or try to face off, because they swapped Joey to the top side to fight the Rift Herald, and they didn't get anything out of it. It was just a waste of time, and nobody get any gold out of it. If you look at the entire Tribe's map presence, they still have 3 tier 1 towers standing, and look at the other side, all the turrets are gone. So, again, I don't quite understand, I don't quite approve of the lane swap that Team Youngs are doing. Great practice though. I just want to point out how much damage Old School's arrow is already doing on the entire map. That's why this champion, if you haven't played him, go ahead and try it, because this champion is going to be one of the most OP champion in the game.
And that's what you do when you end up getting yourself 2 items, 2 very crucial high damage, high critical critical damage items coming in with that Moral Mana already online for Old School on that bar, as Ginsu's going to be available as well. As it looks like we are going to see a potential team fight going to come in. The charm going to land on a 9, but unfortunately Tiger's going to be able to get the Dragon Hextech Ultimatum, going to be able to get everyone out of position, and it's going to be several kills. Starting is going to get a kill. It's going to be a triple kill coming in from Old School. That Hextech Ultimatum clumping everyone together, starting going to melt them like butter, and now Tribe, with all 5 members of Yon down, going to be able to use the Rift Herald to get not only 1 tower, but the inhibitor tower as well. They might even try to end the game. You're absolutely right. They're going to be able to get the headbutt out of the Rift Herald, and they get the damage onto the Nexus.
I mean, looks like going Recon mid wasn't paying off.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, it just, I mean, we correctly pointed out. I guess we're just prophets. I mean, I guess we're just too good at the video game. We foresee the Recon mid lane was not gonna work out, and sure enough, it just didn't work out. I mean, we're just too good at video games, I guess. So,
shoutouts to Old School dropping that piercing arrow and getting all 3 of the medium-sized Krugs in that fight, just adding more insult to injury for Yon. They're trying to be able to get themselves back under control. They even take the wolves away from Zenith. They leave the little baby cubs available for him to take, but they take the mama cub away. They take the grump. They take the blue buff, and now they're looking to be able to go for Baron at 10 minutes and 10 seconds into the game. Like, already for 16,000, almost 17,000 gold in the lead. They're gonna be wearing purple. They now get themselves into that 17,000 gold advantage. They're gonna just be able to steamroll past whatever Yon tries to throw at them, with already that middle inhibitor tower down. I mean, this game is looking like it is already over. Shredding that tower in the top lane, looking for the second inhibitor of the game to go down less than 11 minutes into the contest. And I mean, this is just so rough to watch. If we are a Yon fan, they're able to get themselves into a big, we're going to see the rest of Tribe getting themselves a big lead. What a charm! Going to be able to get the knockup to come through, and it's going to be the explosive cast going to come in. It's going to be starting getting a double kill, however. Going to go into a rampage. It's going to be Old School dominating. Tiger's going to get hit by the Nexus Fountain, and unfortunately, well, there was an amazing charm coming in by Stovey, or by 9, with that charm coming in from the Rakan. The follow-up damage was not there. The wallet just too big for Tribe. Almost 20,000 gold in the lead. They're going to be able to take themselves a clean, crisp, easy 2-0 victory against Yon. Congratulations to Tribe. An amazing performance.
Wow. I mean, again, congratulations to Try for sure, but Yawn's really yawning today. And I think what you said perfectly in that game. The only thing I think I can point out is purple is in fashion right now because it's Prime Month. So happy Prime Month, everybody. Still, like that game was just one-sided slaughter from entire Tribe. They're definitely showing us how it's done properly. You know, how if you want to snowball, how to snowball and end the game in just under 11 minutes, sure. But at the same time, like, I guess Yawn's had their fun for the game today, but really they should take the match and really watch what's going on and get ready for the next match, because playoff, remember, if you progress one spot, it does almost double, if not already double, your prize money.
Exactly. You said it correctly. I mean, you want to be able to win the semifinals matches so that you're able to get into grand finals, so that you're able to get the chance to be able to get to that $1,000 grand prize for the finals that are happening next Sunday, exclusively on Trovo. So you definitely guys are going to be wanting to check that out. Thank you, Dave, for showing the standings as we take a look at how the bracket shaped out between these last 2 weeks. Goon's going to be able to be the first prize easily, 8 points, with Try being able to get those 2 wins, going to be able to get themselves a second place finish. Yawn in a third with 5. Mayhem going to round out the playoff seeds with 4 points. Shout out to K&D, going to be able to get themselves 1 point at least, going to be able to get themselves the 5th place. And then J4F, unfortunately, not going to be able to get themselves a win, going to round out the bracket. But I believe that, you know, at the end of the day, Mayhem and Yawn, they have got their work cut out for them. Goons is going to be facing off against Mayhem in round 1. It's going to be Tribe facing off against Yawn. So we're going to get a rematch of what we saw in today's games. And it was dominant for Goons and for Tribe in those contests. Like, there really wasn't much of an advantage at all for Yawn or for Mayhem throughout those games. If they want to be able to advance into the grand finals, if they want to have a chance to be able to get that top seeded prize, they've got to be able to perform a lot better than what they did today. They've got to be able to pull out all the stops, game 1, game 2, even game 3 if it goes to that one, so that they have that chance.
And guys, mark it on your calendar, because next week's the playoff is going to be best out of 5 all around. And remember, the entire tournament's all-around band pick format. It means, like, the champion that you use in the one best of the 5 series, you're only allowed to use that once. You're not allowed to repeat that champion. So best of the 5, we're gonna see this band pick format in full force, right? We're gonna have, by the way, we're gonna have Irelia added, and we're gonna have I think Irelia and 2 more champions added into the band pick. So it's gonna be very, very exciting for the band pick format, and you're gonna see a lot more. If you just get to the game 3, automatically we're gonna have 10 champions banned. But if we get to game 4 and game 5, we're gonna have 15 or 20 champions banned for each side. That's why in this specific band pick, we'll have only 1 ban per game, and because we already have so many champions banned for each side, due to the band pick format. So mark it on your calendar next week, and join us on Trovo.live. Big shout out for all the contestants, and J4F for getting that $100 and getting that 6th place, even though they're 6th, you know, and they were supposed to get like probably less, but K&D was it because they forfeited so many matches. J4F got a free $100, so big congrats to them for, you know, winning that prize money, and for helping her. For Tribe. Next week is the week to watch the tournament, and it's going to be exclusively on Trovo. This is your time to go ahead and follow Mr. Moose on Twitter. Follow Mobile Mayhem on Twitter as well, so you can follow all the future tournaments that they will get themselves involved in for the League of Legends Wild Rift community. With that will conclude it for us tonight. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. Have a great weekend. Have a great productive week. We'll see you guys next Saturday for the North America Mobile Mayhem Season 1 playoff. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your evening. Bye now.